First of all, gentlemen, I'd like to thank you for your service and welcome home. My question is, if you had the opportunity or the privilege to face the troops that are graduating today, tomorrow, what advice would you give them?
Well, that's a great question. You know, one of the things that I think has been terrific about the United States Army is since I was a brand new second lieutenant, I have had wonderful mentors, officers and non-commissioned officers. I don't know what I would have done without First Sergeant Fulgham and Platoon Sergeant Burroughs, who were with me there in Hawaii as we were getting ready and the entire 25th Division was going forward to Vietnam. I didn't realize it at the time, but I was being mentored by them and prepared to be a rifle company commander in combat. And it happens all through your life. And we have several of my mentors that have been sitting here, General McCaffrey and General Berber, General Richardson, General Cabeza. They've all mentored me. And I think that's an important thing to do. If I were a young soldier going to a theater of combat today, I would pick out some officers, non-commissioned officers, and sit down and ask questions and get prepped to about the kinds of things that you should be on the lookout for. Go ahead, sir.
If you had one thing to say how it's impacted your life, what is it? I would imagine that the medal itself and the responsibility that it has is quite enormous.
Gordon, you?
Yeah, for myself, there are a lot of positives and negatives, but one of the things that I try and talk to folks about, particularly as regards the outcome of being a recipient of any award and stuff, it's very easy for you to let people kind of put you in a position, pigeonhole you, and then use you as kind of a tour guide stop. Hey, here's our Medal of Honor recipient. There's a little velvet rope between that person and the audience that's looking at them and so forth, and it's very difficult to continue on in your career as being a soldier. And one of the things I try and teach, particularly young soldiers, is that you're no better than your next award. That just like with Hank Aaron, he's no better than his next home run, or LeBron James, and he's no better than his next basket and stuff. You have to continue moving forward, and you can't let that past define you and stuff. For me, that's one episode and a very long career that I'm very proud of having completed. But the real key is that it can be very negative if you're not very careful.
It's a very humbling experience to be selected and to be awarded the Medal of Honor, and you still have to, because we wear the medal. It's very, very important that we continue to set the example and lead by example. And if we go out, go to the bar and get drunk, that's going to make more news because people are going to look at you. And that happened to one recipient. He was suffering from post-traumatic stress, we think, but he went into a 7-Eleven and tried to rob it and was shot by the clerk and killed. And that, so it's a very humbling experience, and I'm very cognizant of what I do every day, because of who I am and being a recipient. We're down to only 74. On the 18th, we received, they had 24 more awarded. 3 of them are living, so we have about 77 living recipients now. And so there aren't that many, and we just have to be very careful and do the best we can in all we do.
Here's a riff on Joe's observation. When I was decorated, there were almost 400 living recipients. Mm-hmm. So today there were 77. The first dinner I attended, my table mates included Commando Kelly, who was the first recipient of the Medal of Honor in the European theater in the Second World War, Pappy Boynton, and Eddie Rickenbacker from the First World War. And in the hall, there was still a living recipient from the Boxer Rebellion, Bill Seach, who charged the Citadel at Beijing and planted the American flag on top of the parapet in 1900. He was still around. And when the dinner was over, Jimmy Doolittle, I guess he was selected because he's like a shrimp. So he was a short guy, and he grabbed a hold of me, put his arm around me, and took me into the corner of the ballroom. We used to get together every other year back then because there were so many recipients. He put his arm around my shoulder and said, "Young man," he said, "you're no longer Jack Jacobs. You're Jack Jacobs Medal of Honor recipient. And you need to remember that you have to act accordingly. Do you understand what I'm telling you?" Jimmy Doolittle, "Yes, sir, I sure do." You represent all those tens of millions of American men and women who served and sacrificed for us so that we can pass on the mantle of liberty to the next generation, and we have to act accordingly.
Okay. No other questions? Thank you all very much. Appreciate it.